Before, I was going to keep it to myself, but actually, I think I'm a little bothered now. Because why is it...
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, welcome to my beauty entertainment channel. Absolutely. So, if you would like to... If you would like to follow me on social media, here's my Twitter and my Instagram. Go have fun, enjoy yourself there. And while you're here, check out some of my recent videos. I posted a video a couple of days ago talking about new makeup releases. I hadn't done one of those in like 2 months, so it was long. Whatever. Then before that, I posted a video ranking the songs on Harry Styles' album Fine Line that came out in December. And then before that, I posted like a review, reaction, whatever my videos are called. I posted that type of video talking about the VMAs. So yeah, all right. So I haven't done one of these in a super long time. It wasn't supposed to be this long because, okay, so I rank artist albums on here and it's been a while. I think the last one I did was One Direction. It wasn't supposed to be this long between them, but the week I was supposed to film this video, Folklore dropped that week, and I said, well, it ruined all my plans. It ruined all my plans. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this just later, and it's later now. So let's get some disclaimers out of the way. Anytime I talk about any artist on here, I'm gonna start using these disclaimers. You would think you wouldn't have to, because everything I say on my YouTube channel is clearly from my own opinion, my own thought, but you have to do it anyway. What I'm stating is my opinion. I'm not really setting anything into stone. I really have no authority to do something like that. I am merely sharing what I believe to be true, the rankings of Taylor Swift's album. So if you disagree with me, that is great, perfect. Exactly. But have your own thought and opinion. Just don't call me any racial slurs over mine. Thank you so much, because that happens every single time I do one of these. It's not that deep. It's albums. Okay. So let's get I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this one. So let's get started. So Taylor Swift's worst album. Okay, another disclaimer. I like Taylor Swift. I think Taylor Swift is a very good artist. I don't think I was gonna say, she doesn't make bad music, and her albums aren't unlistenable, just some are worse than others, okay? Okay, I'll talk about this more in a second. So Taylor Swift's worst album is Reputation. Good lord. So let me explain to you my history, my background with Reputation. So Reputation came after 1989. 1989 is a masterpiece, but I'll get there. So I was really excited for this, right? There's a lot of turmoil happening to Taylor Swift at the time, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I listened to Reputation the very first night that it came out, and I promise you to God, I never listened to it again. I turned it on, I listened, I heard all the songs, I went back and listened to a couple more songs, make sure I wasn't missing anything. I was not. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened with Miss Taylor, but she didn't take it there, if that makes sense. Taylor Swift, I consider Taylor Swift some sort of genius. I don't know what type, but I consider her some sort of genius. And this album, in my opinion, was not good at showcasing that at all. It was not. Instead of, I don't know if I'd call it a ceiling, instead of breaking through that ceiling, she kind of just stopped herself. It was so annoying. This album pisses me off, because how on earth is Blank Space better than the entire concept of this album? That one song, that doesn't make any sense. How did you do the entire concept of How did you do the entire concept of Reputation, the album, better in one singular song? You did the entire concept of Reputation was done better by one singular song on 1989. So that's why I don't see it for this album. The album makes no sense. It's not good, guys. It's not, I don't know why people think that this is the bad album to be an apologist for. There's a different bad album that you can be there's a different Taylor Swift album that you can be an apologist for, but I don't get why you would be one for Reputation when it's simply not good. Now, is it bad song after bad song? No, it's not. It's not like terrible. It's definitely listenable. It's definitely listenable. I personally don't have any songs from Reputation on any of my playlists. When I'm telling you, I listened to this album for the first time and was pretty much set. I didn't need any more. I'm being completely 100% honest. I don't have these songs on nothing. No playlist, none of them, because it's not good. It's not good. Like, not all the songs are terrible. Look What You Made Me Do is a terrible song. That song is terrible. But I don't think the album as a whole is unlistenable. I don't listen to it. But I'm like, there are worse albums out there. Guys, it's just not up to her. It's not up to the standard of quality that she set for herself. Especially following 1989. It's not up to the quality that she set herself from her first album. That's what I do not think you can deny that. I don't think you can deny that this is not up to the quality of the rest of her albums. It's not. It doesn't make any, nothing about this album, nothing about this era, nothing made sense. It was very confusing. It was completely doing the opposite of what Taylor Swift had been doing her entire career, which could be a good thing, because she went from like making music that everyone can relate to making an entire album about like the West hating her, which obviously nobody else in the world can relate to that. It was just very strange. I think it was strange. I think it was ill-advised. I think it was a bad choice. I think this album was a bad choice. You know what? I like the concept though. I liked the concept, but again, this is why I can't, how did you do this entire concept better in one song? That one song is better than listen, again, this is my opinion. That's why the disclaimer was really prevalent, because I was like, I knew I was gonna start with Reputation. I like the concept. I like the concept of Taylor Swift doing an album about her like reputation at the time. This just fell seriously short. This fell seriously short. Oh my, I don't see it for Reputation. I never had, y'all told me, give it another chance. So I did. I'm not crazy. I did. I went in with a positive mindset. I was eating food as I was listening to it. It's not good. My favorites on this album are Endgame and Don't Blame Me. That's it. It's not good, guys. It's not good at all. Like, I don't know how much clearer I could make it. It's not good. I don't see it for this album at all. Okay, moving on. Next album, I don't know what number we're on. We're on number 2, but like from the worst side. Next is Fearless. That's what I'm talking about. So here's the thing. I feel like this album, Fearless, it sounds a little bit lighter and a little bit, honestly, like younger than Taylor Swift's actual debut. I don't know why. It's just the way it sounds to me. It's way too happy. This album, and I know the lyrics aren't always, but the songs on Fearless have a happy-go-lucky feeling to me, and I need an appropriate mix of that and like Eternal Heartbreak. From a Taylor Swift album, I need a good mixture of both, and I feel like Fearless gave me a lot of one, but not enough of the other. That's why I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's good, obviously. I don't like it as much as I like her self-titled album. I feel like she stepped out like super bold and then like took a step back. With Fearless, she's like, wait, I don't know if you guys are ready for this. And then she released Speak Now. So maybe this was needed. If it was needed, I'm fine with it. But yeah, this album is like, to me, I rate my faves on this. My fave, I wrote one down, is White Horse. That's a very good song. That's a very good song. She had some really good songs this era. It was just very like, to my opinion, it was a step back from her debut album. That's my truth. Ooh, I can't do powder before I do liquid blush. Exactly. Where's my blush? Okay, next album. See, now we're gonna get into some really serious, the things I find seriously wrong with the discussions about Taylor Swift's album. The next album, her next best album is Lover. You guys are crazy. Okay, before I get into that, nothing about Lover, the album, really makes sense to me. Nothing about this era makes any sense to me. This was literal pastel hodgepodge. Nothing about this makes sense, but, because y'all have lost your minds. By no means is Lover Taylor Swift's worst album. What is, y'all are haters. What? I think you're in the era of folklore excellence and it's blinding your vision. In no way is Lover Taylor Swift's worst album. That's Delusions of Grandeur. That's correct. What? So, but that was my disclaimer. Now I'm gonna talk about this album. It's too damn long. Lover is now the thing is, all of Taylor Swift's albums are long because, you know, storyteller. But some of these songs don't make any sense. I think Lover, is like a solid, like, should cut like 6 songs from it. How I listen to it, I cut 6 songs from it. Like, the rest of it is absolute nonsense. However, here's my thing about why I also don't think Lover's a bad album. If I told you to if I put it up to everyone get rid of 6 songs from Lover, I feel like a lot of people would choose like Me and like You Need to Calm Down, which I'll talk about in a second. But I feel like the rest of the choices would be very mixed and varied, which I think would make it mean it's a pretty good album. In my opinion. I don't really know how that correlates, but that's my opinion, okay? Here's my thing. I think it's basic blasphemy to even insinuate that Lover is worse than Reputation. I think that's ludicrous and I think you're insane. Because nothing, what? The thing is, look, that's a lot of praise because I don't like this album. This is my thing. I said this on Twitter. Okay, so this thing, Lover is not her worst album. That don't mean I think it's excellent, because it's not. It's not. Nothing about this period of time makes any sort of sense. I don't know what this era is. I truly have no idea what anyone was thinking, if there was any sort of preparation for anything this era. Nothing was adding up. I don't know who was in charge of selecting the singles. Me. I'm just gonna spend just a minute here. I felt embarrassed by Me. I felt like I had put a lot of stock in to a white woman, and she released Me. Yes, it was really a moment of just like, wow. Cause what happened? What happened? Where did we go wrong? I think maybe Taylor was at a point where she was like, you know what? I'ma just release anything. Let's see, what could I really do wrong? Let's put one of the worst songs I've ever made out as a single. Let's just see what happens. Let's go crazy, cause this was reckless. This was reckless, in my opinion. Me, You Need to Calm Down is a bad song too, but Me is worse. Me is I don't like. Is this who we are? Is this what we stand for? Is this what you stood for? Me as a single from Lover. That don't even make any sense. I think that song has tainted your guys' whoa. I think you guys have let that song taint your view of this album. And the thing is, I can't blame you. What an ill-advised choice. What an ill-advised choice. Like, now again, Lover is not her best work by any, it's like bottom 3, but it's not worse than Reputation. You guys are crazy. It's a solid piece of work, and when I get rid of the songs that I think are useless, it becomes a much more solid piece of work. So what songs I get rid of? I don't listen to The Archer. That song's been done before. Taylor has done that song before. I think get rid of, I think that this whole section of the album I get rid of. Lover. Amanda's never prepared. I get rid of from The Archer. I get rid of The Archer. I Think He Knows and Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. I don't like that song either. I get rid of The Heartbreaker, right? No, Miss America and The Heartbreaker. I get rid of False God. Death by 1,000 Cuts is on the fence, and I also get rid of You Need to Calm Down and Me. I'll let her keep The Man because I think she needs that feminist anthem in this in this album. I don't really like that song either. The music video was like cute or whatever, but I'll let her keep that, but the rest are off my playlist. When I listened to Lover, I was like, because it was right after Reputation, and I was like, maybe she'll come back to me. So I listened to it and I was like, we're not back to where we once were, and I need us to get there quick. I really blame the single selection, guys, because the album really isn't that bad. And here, okay, we're gonna make it, okay. If you're already in my comments explaining to me through your own convoluted reasoning why you think Reputation is better than Lover, I would implore you to show me a song on Reputation that does what Soon You'll Get Better featuring the Dixie Chicks did. I would, if you're going to, because I already know you're here, if you're going to do that, point me in the direction of a song on Reputation that does what Taylor Swift did on Soon You'll Get Better in collaboration with the Dixie Chicks. I would even argue Lover the song. I don't think there's a song Reputation as good as Lover the song either. I don't. What songs do I like on this album? I like the songs I didn't cut off. I like Cruel Summer, Soon You'll Get Better, obviously. This is one of the best things Taylor has ever released. So that is what I was expecting from Lover. I wish the entire album, you know, it's fine. You can't always dwell on the past, and it's something you have to recognize as a growing human being. It's perfectly okay, right? I actually like Paper Rings. I love Paper Rings. I know the girls like to slander a lot of Taylor's like really poppy work, and some of it is bad. Some of it is really bad, but not all of it's bad, guys. Not all of it's bad. I still haven't set my face. And I like Cornelia Street and Afterglow. Literally just the song I didn't kick off. But yeah, I don't listen to Lover, I don't sit down and listen to the album Lover often. I just have pulled the songs off that I like into my playlist. But if I do listen to it, it's not the whole thing. Some of those songs, they sounded the same. They sounded incredibly similar. It was just, I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened with Lover, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Me as a single. I don't know what we truly did stand for all this time. All right, moving on, because I spent a lot of time talking about that. Next album I'm discussing is her self-titled album, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift started out strong as hell. That's it. Taylor Swift let her presence as as lyrical genius known from her very first album. And she also let the girls know, there's a movie trilogy in this album. This is not just me singing lackadaisically. I'm telling you a tale, pay attention. That's what I got. I haven't listened to this album all the way through in years, I don't think, and this is such a good album. This is much more interesting than Fearless. Fearless kind of sucks in comparison to this one. Fearless it's missing an edge. It's too vanilla based. That's what Fearless is to me. I do like this. I do not think Taylor Swift is better than Lover. Taylor Swift is better than Lover. Ooh, I feel like Is that arguable? Can you argue with me with saying that Taylor Swift is better than Lover? I don't think you can argue with me about any of this stuff. But you guys will. It's fun though. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, no. Lover really pisses me off. It's a good album though. I don't know why it was, because what I'm talking about is on Twitter one day I was like I asked people like what's I think someone asked like what's the Taylor Swift's worst album, and there were so many Lover comments, as if Reputation doesn't exist, as if Reputation isn't just sitting there waiting to be made fun of by me. I don't, whatever. Faves on Taylor Swift the album are Tear Ups on My Guitar, Picture to Burn, The Outside, and Should Have Said No. Period. All right, now we're into top 4. We're getting dicey here because here's where we had to use some changes because of Folklore. So the 4th best Taylor Swift album is Speak Now. Taylor Swift came fully into her own with Speak Now because I said before, Fearless, I don't know why, I feel like she took a step back lyrically, the way the song sat, in every way. I mean, of course we have bops from our Fearless era, but there was just there was a back step. I think it was, you guys aren't truly ready to know how talented I am, so I'm gonna ease you into it. That's what I think it was. Taylor Swift on this album like conquered country. I think she's been doing that the whole time, but with the release of Speak Now, Taylor Swift conquered country. There was something in this album that the other two were missing, but everything came together for this storytelling feast. That's my summary of what happened. Like, back to December to this day is some of her best work. I'm talking about top 3. I'm talking about top 3. When I think top 3 Taylor Swift songs, Back to December is sitting there nice and pretty. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you, but Back to December, my fan is not here. But Back to December is some of Taylor Swift's absolute best work. An album with Back to December can't not be in top 4. That doesn't make any sense. That'd just simply be foolish. I don't know what she did with that song, but it's incredible. All of the songs, this is the thing, Mine, I love Mine, but Mine is now Santana's song. You always heard the Glee cover of Mine. It's no longer Taylor Swift's song. That's okay. She still wrote it. It's a good song, but that is now Santana's song, so I don't put that in my favorites Taylor Swift anymore. Because Santana, I don't know what she did. I don't know how she was Santana on that song. That's it. Okay, Dear John is a hell of a, everything came together into fruition for Speak Now. This was also the start of Taylor Swift's 3-album perfection run. Yes, it's 3. 3-album perfection world tour run was started with Speak Now. This is ridiculous. Like, she was writing on Dear John like the rent was due the next day. It's incredible. It was incredible. Speak Now was in the 3rd spot before Folklore, and I'm getting there in a second, because Taylor Swift did something she hasn't even touched herself on Folklore. Taylor Swift makes long ass albums. I said that before. Her albums are really long and I don't like how long they are. And I usually, for most of the albums, will have a couple of songs that I just don't listen to for most of her albums. I listen to every single song on Speak Now though. Like Blush, I listen to every single song on Speak Now. Every single song. There's not a song that I skip, because the album is that good. The album is that good. And yeah, there's not a song that I skip. There is not a song that I skip on Speak Now. I think Taylor Swift came into her own in a way we hadn't seen before with this album. And it really began one of the best runs I've seen from any sort of artist, because 3 perfect albums in a row. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. My faves on Speak Now are Sparks Fly, The Story of Us. Back to December is in a different category of its own, honestly. Never Grow Up and Better Than Revenge. Excellent song. Excellent song. I don't know what she did. There was something was put into that album. No, something was put into this next album. Next album, this is the third best. Ooh, if you would have told me, if y'all would have told, how long did Folklore come out ago? A month ago? You told me 2 months ago. Then the third best Taylor Swift album is Folklore. So I have an entire video dedicated to what I would call this as a masterpiece. I don't know really how you would argue with me on that. This is a masterpiece. So if you would have looked me in my eye the day that she announced she was dropping a surprise album, if I was gonna have like 5 new favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time from this surprise folk album, I would have laughed in your face. But look at me now. Look at me now. That was the largest crow I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, back to my point. It is ludicrous that she made this in quarantine. I think I went on a rant for that in my Folklore video, but that really makes me upset. She just made this inside her house, just like, yeah, you guys can have it. Have fun. Do whatever you gotta do with it. I just, made it just sitting here in quarantine. Because I'm a lyrical genius. It's fine. It's fine. And after the Lover travesty, it's not that bad of an album, but it was a travesty. I was really looking for hope in the midst of the pastel craziness that was that era. I was looking for hope, deliverance, any sort of indication that I was going to be getting back what I knew she could do. And I got it. Basically, this is what Folklore is what I've been like wanting from Taylor Swift. Not necessarily like the folk genre, but an album that is as good as Folklore, because I've been worried. Not worried, but like I was worried after Reputation, and then I was worried after Lover, because Lover just didn't hit for me. It's aged better now. I think Lover has aged well. It's really, because people really be slandering that album for no fucking reason. Sorry guys. But I was worried because Lover didn't hit the first time, and I was like, where are we going from here? I was really worried because I said Reputation and then Lover. We're not going up. We were going up, and then we took a nosedive. We're gonna need to reel it back in. And she shut my ass up. She slapped me dead in my face, the wool jacket, and said, fine. You're talking smack. Here's an album for you to listen to every single night before you fall asleep. Shut up. And it worked. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I've been asking for. The first time I listened to it, this album is so long. The first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, so that was really slow. I was like, that's a really, really slow album. Wow, Taylor. This album has basically gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on. And I'm kind of worried because it's only September and this album has like intertwined itself so much into my life. And we're not even really in fall, winter yet, really. And that's when she's reaching her true form. So I'm like scared because I don't know how good this album is about to become truly. I don't think this album reaches full potential. I think if I do this video again, I don't know. Like, come talk to me in like 2 months, 3 months, and ask me if I move this up. Because it's a masterpiece. Folklore is it's one of the best albums released this year. It's only September, but like with this year, the year's almost over. I don't know what she did. Like, I said she put some like straight up drugs in the other one in Speak Now, but Folklore, this was untouched. I believe Taylor Swift accomplished some things she hadn't even accomplished with Folklore. It's just the way it was written, because even the songs that I don't like, which I put in that video, I still think are good songs. I do think Mirrorball is not good at all, but it's still a good song. Like, I can still appreciate that she's a lyrical genius, that she's a pen of a mastermind. I can still appreciate that, even though I don't like the song, like some of the songs. Folklore, like, what Folklore did for me, it shut me the hell up, and it brought me back to being like an almost daily Taylor Swift listener, because I do listen to Folklore every single night before I go to sleep. It's become like a daily ritual. I hadn't listened to a Taylor Swift album like this much since 1989, because Reputation and Lover were not good. That's why. So like this album basically brought me back to doing all of that. So it's a masterpiece, baby.
Like I said before, why I don't like harp on Taylor Swift for Reputation, because y'all don't see me. I don't actively run a hate campaign against Reputation. I just talk about it once it gets brought up. The reason why I don't fault her is because if we needed to receive and endure Reputation in order to get Folklore, like, I'm okay with that. If Reputation and Lover were what were needed to get Folklore, I'm fine with that. I have no ill will nor hate in my heart if that's what was needed for us to get Folklore. Yeah, that's it.
This is a new gloss. I put my makeup in the description below, but I like the way that feels. It's clear though. All right, my faves on Folklore are Betty, August, and Illicit Affairs. Those are my favorite songs on Folklore, and I made a whole video about it. So if you thought that wasn't detailed enough, you can go watch that. That's hilarious. Okay, next album. My reasonings for the top two are gonna confuse you. I think they're gonna confuse you because I've been saying one thing this whole video. I think this is very similar to my Ariana Grande video, whatever. So the second best Taylor Swift album, in my opinion, is 1989. Please wait. Please hold all questions and comments until the end of this video. 1989 is a masterpiece. 1989 is an perfect pop album from start to finish. Like, she had just made it official a few years prior that she conquered country, and then basically was like, well, I'm gonna conquer pop too, and I'm gonna do it with one of the best pop albums of that decade, 2010s. One of the best pop albums of that entire decade. It was really a shock to me, honestly, when 1989 came out, because like in 2 years, in 2 years, she conquered pop. She released Red, and then 2 years later, she conquered pop. I don't know how she did that. I don't know how, in between Red and 1989, pop music was doing a lot. I loved it, but a lot was going on, and I know the girls, because the girls at my school were mad when Red was happening, when they started to make poppier music. And people can say whatever they want about Taylor Swift's pop music. I think it's good, but like, once you release something like 1989, I kind of can't say anything to you, which is why, yes, I just like trash talked like Me, the song, but like Taylor Swift also made style. So where do we go from here? I don't really feel like I can say any, because like, yeah, I can talk about how bad of a song Me is, what a terrible choice it was to use that as a single for how embarrassed I was, how humiliated how just distraught I felt when I heard that song. But she also made style. So I keep my mouth shut. Because like where do we go from here? We're nowhere. This was the last in Taylor's, my opinion, in Taylor's 3-hit like trilogy of perfect albums. Reputation just came and shat on everyone else, but y'all, that album is not good. Leave me alone in the comments already. That album is not good. Now, 1989 songs. I don't mind Shake It Off. I've always liked Shake It Off. I think it's something cute and fun for the girls to dance to. I've always liked Shake It Off. Sorry, I really like that song. 1989 was also insane. saying, because remember the way the general public was speaking about Taylor at the time, right before, and I talk about this Reputation and how that like it makes me even more upset, because I'm like, in theory, Reputation could have done what she wanted it to do, but how did you, where what happened in between? 1989 was so, Reputation is not up to her standards, with especially with 1989 right before. Reputation is not up to her standards. I don't believe so. With the standard that Taylor Swift has set since her first album, Reputation does not meet it. I don't think Lover meets it that well either, but Reputation does not meet it at all. Because Lover has Soon You'll Get Better featuring the Dixie Chicks. I cannot imagine how you would say a song with that, an album with that song on it is worse than Reputation. There's no neurons firing. That doesn't make any sense. All right, sorry for just yelling at you, but it's mind-blowing. You did the concept in Blank Space, and then you couldn't fit. You should just left it alone. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why you would follow 1989. That's not what we're talking about. 1989 is a masterpiece. So why don't I think it's her best album? My reasoning for it is strange. I don't know if anyone would agree with me. Okay, my reasoning could be why you think the exact opposite and would put 1989 as number one. And this is my thing, just like my Ariana video, when I said Dangerous Woman is her best album and Sweetener is her second best. If you argue that 1989 is her best album, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not. I believe differently, but I will not get into an argument with someone over 1989 being her best album or not, because that's a very good option. I would have to start talking reckless if you named like anything else that's not good as her best album. But I would understand why you would put 1989 at the top. I don't. Why? I just think Red was better. I'm about to talk about it in a minute. I just think Red is a better album. 1989 is her best era. 1989 is a pop masterpiece, but I think for Taylor Swift, the artist, I don't know this girl. For Taylor Swift, the artist and who she is, I think Red is her best work. I think Red, I'm about to get to Red in a minute. I think Red showcases Taylor Swift as a person in a way that no other album has. Let me just say, my faves on 1989, Style is one of Taylor Swift's best songs. There's no denying that. Also Blank Space. How You Get the Girl is one of my favorites. Unfiltered Pop, I love that song. Mind Your Business. I don't know what people think about her, like, So when people bring up 1989, no one talks about how, except for the two duds, Taylor Swift's albums are very good start to finish. Like, the songs that nobody even talks about are still very, very, very good. Talent. Now, we're at Taylor Swift's best album, which you know by now, which I believe is Red. What I was saying before, I do agree with you. 1989 is Taylor Swift's best era, by far. It is a pop masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. I do believe that Red showcases Taylor Swift's better. I think it showcases Taylor Swift's natural writing ability better. I think the only album that has done it this well is is Folklore. I think the only album out of the ones that have come out after Red that matches Red in terms of lyricism, in terms of songwriting, in terms of just how she crafted it is Folklore. I do. Again, 1989 is a pop masterpiece. I'm literally not arguing with you there. 1989 is a pop masterpiece. I simply think that Red is Taylor Swift, it's her best piece of work. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I love the songs on this album are excellent. The reason I'm like, the transition from Red to 1989 was seamless. The way she was able on Red to sit on the line between country and pop on an album and not really have to choose. I mean, she did choose in 1989. She's like, I'm a pop artist now. But on Red, she was playing both sides. That's in the best way possible, what I'm saying. She did like a genre hodgepodge situation on this album because it was good. And she was going in between country and pop all the time on this album and mixing them in ways that I really, again, I am seeing similarities between Red and Folklore. I don't know if anyone else sees that. I see similarities between the two of them, and they also happen to my favorites as of right now. Like the Ed Sheeran collaboration on this album. Y'all remember when that man, this is a tangent, Ed Sheeran was dominating things with his songs from this time. Like the songs were good, guys. I know that album, whatever that was that he released, the doo-doo that he released like a year ago was bad. But when Ed Sheeran was making music like the Taylor Swift, it was good. That song is good. But yeah, my favorites on Red are I Almost Do, All Too Well, The Lucky One, and so here's my thing with her pop song on this album. We're Never Getting Back Together changed my life. I don't know why. I do not know why. That song just stuck with me. Where I played that song on the bus, get into my little movie headspace. I don't know why We're Never Getting Back Together ignited something in me, but even when I hear the song to this day, it evokes an emotion. And it's happiness? I don't even know, because that song is about like men, but that song is so good. All the pop songs on this album, I think, okay, I think I Knew You Were Trouble is better than We're Never Getting Back Together. Could be, no, I'm not wrong. I think it's I Knew You Were Trouble is better than We Are Never Getting Back Together, is better than 22, but I really fuck with 22. No, but I Knew You Were Trouble is like is an excellent song. She is really talented. It's pissing me off. Okay, so in general, so that was my albums, right? It was, it was Reputation, Fearless, Reputation, Fearless, Lover, Taylor Swift, Reputation, Fearless, Lover, Taylor Swift, Speak Now, Folklore, 1989, and Red. That's my ranking to this album. I know these comments are gonna be fun. In general, I have a gripe with Twitter. I have a lot of gripes with Twitter. I don't share them. I'm gonna share this one though. When it comes to talking about like music and stuff, it's just some of the things that I see are really hilarious. Why do you guys like to erase half of Taylor Swift's discography? Because whenever like hit for hit stuff is discussed, not a versus, because that's for black people, but like whenever people are like making, I'm like, why are you guys ignoring everything before Red? Because you know why you're ignoring everything before Red. Because one, Taylor Swift has been making music since 2006. I think people forget that when they put them up against their faves. She's been making music since 2006. The discography is really stacked. It just in terms of years alone. And then so you keep leaving out her country albums on purpose. Why? Because you know why. If you bring in the country albums, there are a lot of automatic clears from Taylor Swift's earlier eras. There are a lot of that's why you keep ignoring it. And it's very sad. It's like half a thread I saw once was just song from Reputation, and I'm like, that was, you just set her up to lose. You just set her up to lose. I don't even know who they put her up against, but I was like, she lost. Only songs from Reputation and Lover, she lost. Y'all leave out her country albums on purpose. I know why you leave out her country albums on purpose. It's an attempt to make her discography seem weaker when it's pretty long and substantial. So y'all just like cutting out half of it. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me because you're cutting out like excellence for mediocrity. So yeah, that's my ranking to Taylor's albums. This was very fun. This also took a long time to do because her albums are very long. I appreciate it though, because because I said Speak Now is the only album that I don't skip songs on, and that's true. I skip songs on red. Even though I think it's her best, I do skip songs on red. Some of them I'm just like, okay, Taylor. And then I skip songs on folklore. Y'all know what song I skip on folklore, because some of them I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it for some of these songs. I don't see it for Mirrorball, no. I don't see it for Exile, no. And I really don't see it for Cardigan. This is because people aren't gonna watch that video. Cardigan was set up. Its placement in the album was a setup. So I don't know why people were surprised at my feelings that it's a mediocre song. Not only is it not as good, it was also put in between two excellent songs. So that's none of my business though. I don't make albums. My major is health and human sciences. So that's it. I could make like my favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time. That would take so long. Cause like folklore really seriously put a wrench in this. Cause there's like 5 of them now. And I'm like, well, now 5 songs have to go from the top like 15. And I'm like, where do I put it's mess. Folklore really did a number on my rankings. But yeah, that's my ranking to this albums. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let me know your ranking of them. Yep, so that's the end of my video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to follow me on social media, here is my Twitter and my Instagram. Go have fun and enjoy yourself on there. And while you're here, there's so many birds outside. While you're here, check out some of my recent videos I posted. You know, they're on your screen now, so you can go check those out as well. I've done ranking albums for Beyonce, Ariana Grande, and One Direction, and now Taylor Swift is added to that. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hoping you're staying healthy and safe inside your homes. And yeah, good luck in school and stuff. Do your homework. Don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. If you're procrastinating right now, I think you should go do your homework after watching this video. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.